everyone, welcome to Special Presentation with Mike and Ethan. Or,
Alf will not be seen tonight.
how melodic. So, funny story about tonight's episode. So, I found a link to the video that we watched, which is, let me remind myself, Flash Gordon, The Greatest Adventure of All, an animated TV movie from 1982. I shared this with Mike and said, "Hey, are you ready to do this for Monday?" And Mike said, "Awesome, I love that movie." And, I could have let that go, but I was like, this doesn't seem like a movie that Mike would have actually seen. So I had to say, this is an animated TV movie from 1982, right? And not the 1980 Flash Gordon with the music of Queen. And Mike was like, "Oh, no, I haven't seen this." So I was like, "Woo! Dodged a bullet there." There was a non-zero chance that, not to say that Mike is lazy or anything, but there is a non-zero chance that Mike might have just relied on his, extensive memory of the Queen movie and not seen this one. We've run into this trouble before. We've had this kind of Fantastic Four and Snuffy Smith issue.
Yes.
Anyway, I played myself because we really should have watched that Queen movie because this one sucks ass.
Yeah, this one is. So, have we done the Queen movie on the show before?
No, we have not. We need to watch that one. Get the taste of this one out of our heads.
Yes.
My God. I don't usually fall asleep during these. I had to watch parts of this again because I was like, what the fuck happened? Why is there a lion with them now?
Yeah, the main thing is this is in some ways very similar to the Queen movie in some ways.
Probably because they both actually follow the plot of the comics.
Yeah, but it really does show how important a good soundtrack is because in the Queen movie, we act like Queen made the movie and they just do the soundtrack.
Yes, I mean it stars Queen, right? It was Freddie Mercury as Flash Gordon.
That'd make it even better, I think, honestly.
Yeah, would have. Shit.
But the Queen soundtrack does a lot of heavy lifting.
See a little silhouette of a Ming.
Not to mention the fact that it also has Brian Blessed as Volton of the Hawkmen, and clearly the role he was born to play because Volton is in this too, and it's like you can.
He looks exactly like Brian Blessed.
He looks exactly like Brian Blessed. Bless his heart, and you can also kind of just tell in the performance. It's like this would be if Brian Blessed was doing this. This would be really good. Because he's kind of a large ham, that Brian Blessed.
Yes.
But yeah, this is a Filmation joint, I think, isn't it, or is it Ruby Spears?
Yes, this is a Filmation movie, and you can tell, not just because everything looks like it's rotoscoped, which it does.
Yep.
But because it begins with that spinning Lou Scheimer logo. Just like at the beginning of He-Man and Ghostbusters and everything that you were just like, well, at least it's not the news.
Yeah, kids today don't know what it was like, but there was a time where you were just happy that, there were only two channels, so you just had to be happy that anything was on. Not like today where you're all spoiled for choice with your entertainment options.
Yeah, where you have a whole... Oh, wait, no, they don't have a whole Cartoon Network anymore. They shut the whole Cartoon Network studio down.
No, they don't. They got rid of Nelvana too, so I don't think anyone makes cartoons anymore. I think nowadays...
Yeah, I mean, we can't say the kids have it so great anymore. It kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Even for the kids.
You want some entertainment?
And the worst part is that when the kids grow up and when they're 20, they're going to be like, "Oh man, the stuff I had as a kid is so much better than what the kids are getting these days."
God, well, the kids, what do they have nowadays? Figure Family and a bunch of YouTube Nazis. So, yeah, terrible times.
Baby Nazi, where are you?
Imagine in 20 years when they're grown hipsters, they'll be like, "Oh man, the YouTube Nazis today are just not as good as the YouTube Nazis when I was a kid." They have all sorts of they discovered all sorts of new prejudices that are just even worse than the old ones, 20 years there'll be like there'll be Nazis who are like, we gotta like eliminate the Martians and shit like that. Terrible people. Nazis are, they're not good.
Not the
They're not.
Martians. Martians are fine.
Martians are fine. We have no beef with Martians. I some of my best friends are Martians. I
Yes.
love their food.
Unless you park your tripod in my space.
Yeah, you know what? They do that. They do that. They don't know how to drive. That's the thing. That is the thing on Martians. They're all very bad drivers. They're always
Those
crashing.
Martians, they own everything.
You know what? I mean, they run Hollywood. They you know, it's not anti Marshite to say it. It's true. They don't like to be called Martians. They prefer to be called Marsmen now. But of course, Marsmen and Mars women and Mars NBs. But as we know, that ain't gonna happen. I was raised to call them Martians, and I'm gonna call them Martians till the day I die.
And they get really mad if you call their city Barsoom, even though that's what it was called when I was a kid.
Yeah. It's like, I'm sorry, that's the colonizer's term. Oh, we can't call it that anymore. Well, what do you want to call it? I don't know what they speak on Martian. I don't know what they speak on Mars. They speak. What do they speak? English?
Oh yeah, if you say I don't speak Martian, they get so mad because they have supposedly they have like 80 different languages here, and they're like, oh, I learned Earthish for you. It's like, no, you don't even know what our language is called.
Yeah. Oh, they're like, why don't you learn Martian? Why don't you get a universal translator like all the other aliens do? Oh, you're too good for that. They're like the French of the universe. They're like, no, you can't come here and call it a Mars burger. You have to call it Le Mars burger. It's like, whatever. Le quarter pounder with cheese. No, that's not how we do things here. And if you don't like it, why don't you get back in your little saucer-shaped spaceship and fly your pretty little ass back to Mars where you came from with the rest of the Martians? I'm just saying. And then we can build a big wall around the Earth, just a big wall around the Earth. It's going to be a little difficult because of the three-dimensional space, so it's going to be more like a Dyson sphere type situation, I guess. And then we're gonna not let the Martians in, and also sunlight. We're not gonna have the sunlight anymore. We don't need it. We're tired of it. We've had it for a long time, and frankly, I think we're done with it. We're all done with sunlight. What has it ever done for us? I mean, it gives you cancer. That's one thing it does. And so I think we don't need it. We're done. The plants are going to have to do without. We don't need them either. Okay? This is the racist vision of future Earth. We are going to kill all the plants in order to keep those darn Martians out of here. Wow, this is like a metaphor or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just took an improv class. Can you tell?
Destroying Earth to own the libs.
Yeah, that's right. That's actually what we're kind of doing, I guess. It's literally what we're doing. At some point, America will have to make a choice. What is more important? Having is it more important to kill brown people or to have food?
Yes, I don't care what the other thing is. Yes,
you're a true blue American, Ethan. These colors don't run.
Except brown.
Yeah.
We make them run.
Yeah, you better run. Wow, that came out real bad.
Yes.
You know what? But we've had a lot.
You're doing a bit here.
Yeah,
Reminder.
We're doing a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, we grew up in the 80s when it was okay to pretend to be racist. It turns out that's not even okay because people will take it seriously.
Yeah, like you can't even pretend to be racist anymore because of woke.
Yeah.
It's like, so I'm sorry, but like that's the thing is like I think that is actually really othering to pretend racists because they have it hardest of all. They can't live. That's their culture, pretend racism, and they can't do it anymore because people take it seriously. And now I want you to know that I'm fine with pretend racists. I don't have a beef with them. Some of my best friends are pretend racists. I love it. There's a pretend racist like restaurant down the street, and it's like, oh, it's good. Your food is here. It's pretend racist food. I'm totally fine with it.
Peanut butter was invented by a pretend racist.
Is that true? Oh wow. See, they've contributed some stuff to pretend racists. It's I'm not saying that like I am not racist against pretend racists. Is what I'm saying. It's like I'm fine with them. I'm just saying though. That maybe the pretend racists should go back to pretend raconia, where they came from. And
I don't think you really believe that. That sounds like pretend racism.
Yeah, you got me, you got me. But you know, I'm still. This bit is like this is like Inception. There's so many layers here. It's just going deeper and deeper and deeper. But anyway, we're not talking.
We're trying to avoid talking about Flash Gordon, the greatest adventure
It
of
is
all.
not that. You know, this adventure is not that all that great, to be honest.
No, I mean, okay, let's talk about, getting back on the subject. Let's talk about Filmation. Filmation, there is a lot to recommend about it, but one of the things that's not so great about it is the fact that they basically made cartoons the way William Street does. You know how on Aqua Teen Hunger Force, they each have about 6 animations they cycle through each. You have Frylock using the Fry periscope and Meatwad turning into the hot dog of the igloo. It's basically that, but they trace somebody over these animations they've already done, and then just reuse those same animations over and over and over. And the way they do that is by writing the scripts around the animations they already have. So it would be like, if you wanted Flash Gordon to walk to the left, then you would find, animation 3C, male figure walking to the left in medium shot. And then you say, scene 3C with Flash Gordon. And then have the dialogue underneath it. So it was really great if you were a cartoon writer, not so great if you were a cartoon artist.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that really shows through here,
Yes. This, I'm pretty sure that most of the shots, the animated shots in this particular movie, are reused in He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And, I recognize a lot of these shots. And some of the other ones are, kind of hilarious because there is one scene with Dr. What's his name? Zakov?
Yes.
Dr. Zakov, you see him walk, you see him standing at the front of a ship talking to the others, and then we cut to him walking, and not only has he put on a lab coat in the second since we saw him last, but he's also gained about 200 pounds.
Yeah, they're not very consistent in this.
No. And then his lab coat changes length, and suddenly it looks like he's wearing it looks like he's a detective. And, to be fair, at least Flash Gordon's face remains relatively consistent. But then we get this character named Thun. He is another character from the comic strip, Thun the Lion Man. And there are a lot of shots of him where you can really tell that they forgot to add the lion face while they were tracing over the figure that they were animating for Thun. Or it really looks like he's sort of anamorphing back and forth into a lion.
Yeah, it's kind of, it just reminds me of that classic video you've probably seen on the internet where the lion men are attacking and just zapping people and turning everyone to lion men.
Oh yeah. Do you know what cartoon that comes from?
No.
Oh, that comes from Mega Man.
Oh, okay. Mega Man, I guess, was fighting the scourge of like lion men.
Yeah, lion men who wanted to turn everyone else into lions, which is, not really something that comes up in the video game. It's very tightly robot themed, but, whatever. Lion men.
Lion men, why not? Well, we got a lion man in this Flash Gordon thing because the planet of Mongo has a lot of biodiversity. There are a lot of different sentient races living on Mongo. And also, just to point out, the thing about Flash Gordon, this is originally a comic strip from like the 1920s or something, right?
Yeah, 20s or 30s,
okay.
Yeah. So it is, in fact, this movie takes place during World War II. In fact, it starts during a Nazi bombing.
Yeah.
And you actually, the first thing you get to see are planes with swastikas bombing Warsaw.
I mean, I will give it this. This movie is from, what, 1983?
Two.
Oh,
Yeah.
1982. And I will give them credit for actually making the villains just like straight up Nazis, you know? So many
Yes.
cartoons do that thing where they're like, oh, we have to pretend we're, we can't show the Nazis are bad. We have, it's
Yes.
too spooky to have kids see that, so we have to have pretend Nazis. Is it like when the
Yeah.
Planeteers and Captain Planet faced off with Hitler and they were like, let's give him like a handlebar mustache. And it's like, Hitler very famously did not have a handlebar mustache.
Yes. Oh, speaking of games by Capcom, you know about the game Bionic Commando?
I do not know this game.
This is a game for the Nintendo where you are a soldier with a cool telescoping bionic arm like Inspector Gadget that lets you sling your way around. But the plot of this is that there is a lot of kind of military intrigue going on, and eventually you find out that Hitler's head is alive in a jar and orchestrating everything.
Oh,
Except that they can't call him Hitler in the English version, so instead his name is Master P, and they gave him again a handlebar mustache. But the Japanese version, it is not only clearly Hitler, and you clearly see his head explode at the end of the game, but the name of the game is not Bionic Commando, it's The Resurrection of Hitler.
yeah. It's an interesting thing how throughout the years in America we're like, oh, Nazis are too scary, so we can't show them as bad guys. But it also kind of like it becomes this thing where like then people don't recognize them, I guess, and now suddenly they're back. And but I guess I wonder if they're going to start putting like Hitler in cartoons, but like as a good guy now. I don't know what's going to happen. What the fuck? What a world. But anyway, yeah, Nazis are in this cartoon, and they are the bad guys,
Yes.
as they should be. And in fact,
They blow up Warsaw, and we see a man die. We do, in fact, see somebody that Flash Gordon knows, named Janusz, who dies, and he says, you have to find Dr. Zarkov, and you have to tell him, Mongo.
yeah, this is a good indication that this is based on a comic strip from like 1920. Because whenever they do things based on old comic strips, they like we have to keep the original like dumbass names that some drunk in 1920 just pulled out of his ass, but like in the intervening years just become like sillier and sillier, like
Mongo, yes. You have to tell him, Mongo did it. He was forced to by riffraff.
yeah, it's like Mongo, the planet Mongo, the planet.
Riffraff told me to bomb Warsaw.
Yeah, it's like okay, that's the name of the planet. Oh, the planet moves, I guess, because like Mongo isn't like a normal planet.
No, it it cruises through the universe powered by nuclear fusion.
Yeah,
Apparently,
Ming the Merciless, who is president of Mongo,
Yes.
does this. He can make it fly around, kind of like Hellstar Ramina, I guess.
yeah. So I think it's very funny that the very next thing we see is Flash on a plane, and there's the headline on the paper is "Earth Doomed."
It's like, boy,
How encouraging!
they're like,
Earth Doomed. Why pay for a newspaper?
I do like that they're like, man, well, what they say, if it bleeds, it leads. I love this scene. This is where our hero Flash Gordon meets intrepid girl reporter. What the fuck is her name? Darla Dimple?
Dale Arden.
Dale Arden.
Yeah.
Dale Arden. Okay, and this is great because like Dale Arden is like, I know you. You're Flash Gordon. I interviewed you at this for, I guess, the Olympics. I guess Flash Gordon is an Olympian.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, normally Flash Gordon is an athlete, but I think in the Queen movie he was a football player.
Oh, okay. I don't actually remember. I'll have to watch that again. I always just know him as a space guy. I always just kind of assume that he's kind of like Space Ace or something,
He's like, "Hey, you're Flash Gordon. I interviewed you in space."
Yeah. So she says this basically, or like I interviewed you, and he says to her, "I know you too. You're Dale Earnhardt." And it's like, yes, you do know her. By definition, if she interviewed you, you guys have met. It's not impressive, man. It's like, wow, I know you too. Yeah, that's how it works. She. So I just thought that was really funny. There's also there's this guy on the plane that's drunk. who's
Yeah.
um, who plays a small but pivotal role because the plane. Where are they going? Actually, I can't remember. Um,
I guess he's on his way. They're both on their way to see Dr.
oh
Zarkov.
yeah, so they're on their way to see
And
Doctor Zarkov, and the plane gets hit by meteors, and so the pilot's like, we need to evacuate, but there's only three passengers, but there's only two parachutes. So this was not a well planned venture. And the drunk guy steals a parachute, and so instead, Flash Gordon and Dale have to share one. You know,
yeah. We don't see what. And they were roommates.
yeah.
The we don't see what happens to the drunk guy. I was kind of hoping that he would either, turn out to work for Ming, or maybe we were entering like a Wizard of Oz kind of thing, and we would see like a Mungo version of the drunk guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. He doesn't show up again though. I don't think.
No, he doesn't reappear. He just takes his ill-gotten parachute and disappears into the Himalayas forever. Oh, maybe that's the origin of Mandrake.
There you go. Or Mandrake. Oh, the magician. Okay, I was confused.
Yeah. Remember, his plane went down to the Himalayas too.
That is true. I do remember that. Now these pilots, I think, just die in the crash.
Yes.
we don't see them jump bailing out as is required generally in these old cartoons. So they are dead. But luckily, luckily our heroes are not dead. They survive, and now they go to space. They see a spaceship, and Dr. Zarkov is like, "Come get in my spaceship. I'm going to space."
Yeah, they are. They're falling safely with the parachute, but then meteors rip through their parachutes, and as they huddle together to comfort each other in death, a tractor beam sets them down safely. And it turns out they're right near a mountain owned by Dr. Zarkov or something.
Yeah, as happens, he's got a mountain.
Well, one of my favorite things that happens is that a meteor comes down and knocks the tip off of a mountain, which immediately becomes a volcano.
Oh yeah, I mean that's pretty much. I mean, a mountain is basically just a volcano that is plugged. If you think about it.
Oh yeah, it's like when you scratch a zit and suddenly you just have this huge gusher down your face.
Yeah, exact same principle. So this volcano is spewing, but luckily, Flash and his buddies, they go to space. So they go to space and they're fine.
Yeah, Dr. Zarkov had a rocket ship ready just in case.
Yeah,
and I knew I would have to leave the planet someday, and. So the everything is going up in lava, and it reminds me of the beginning of It Zwibble, where we see that the dinosaurs went extinct because of volcanoes.
Yeah, which that's accurate. That's what happened.
We still hadn't figured out the whole thing about the asteroid at that point.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, they were just like, oh well, it got too cold, and the dinosaurs were stupid. They were too stupid to thermoregulate.
That was a regular thing, was the idea that dinosaurs died out because they got too fat. What the fuck?
Oh yeah! Wow! Very fat phobic. Did my wife come up with this theory?
Is that like all of them? Like even like the pterosaurs? They were just hanging around watching eating frozen pizzas on the couch or something.
Yeah, hot. Yeah.
But I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into fat dinosaurs.
That would be very popular, actually. There should be more fat dinosaurs. Anyway, so they go to space. They don't encounter dinosaurs, but they do see cavemen. There's cavemen on Mongo. There's a
big blind purple caveman.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a great blues singer. But,
yeah. They are these cavemen.
They go there in their rocket ship that looks just like an ear of corn.
Yeah, and then they meet. Wait, so then these cavemen. Wow, I've already forgotten like everything in this movie. Honestly,
I know. I have to have the video right in front of me so I can cycle through it and see what's happening.
I mean, it's one of those movies. The thing is, a lot happens. Like a lot.
A lot happens, but at the same point, nothing
Yeah,
happens.
it's just.
Also, you were wrong. They do see dinosaurs. There's a pretty awesome dinosaur fight.
Oh, is there? I guess I forgot.
Yeah, there's actually a dinosaur fight that kind of kicks ass and reminds me of the fighting dinosaurs from Fantasia.
Oh. I remember now. I do remember that. I mean, that's the thing is, like, this is the sort of thing, this is for kids, and I imagine if I was a kid watching it, I would probably be, like, entertained because it's like, there's dinosaurs in it. There's, like, monsters and weird things and rockets and,
There's lizard ladies.
There's lizard ladies.
How could you not be entertained?
Yeah, there's spectacle, but it's just, it's presented.
There's stuff for you.
Yeah, it is just so kind of like, I think part of it is just like, I really don't care very much, and if it starts to feel a little repetitive because Flash is literally just constantly meeting Flash is just constantly meeting and getting kidnapped by new princes. There are so many goddamn princes on this planet. It's like the planet of princes. They're princes of space, is what they are.
Yeah, imagine if in the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy met like 10 or 12 people on her way to the wizard. It's like that.
Yeah, it's like that. And, they're nothing really holds together thematically on Mongo. It's just like,
no.
It is just completely a bunch of random shit. I think that's really the problem because you're just like, okay, there's a planet. There's no coherence to anything. So you just feel like you're floating out there,
Yes.
Even though
your feet are scrambling for purchase in this narrative, and you're like, can I please have a motif?
Yes.
What is this about?
Yes.
And I mean, it is unfortunately it comes with the territory with comic strips that it's made up on the fly. That you get to just write and draw whatever you want, and then you can just forget about it. You can be like, okay, we're done with that now. Now it's about these characters. Oh, I forgot one of them. Oh, well, maybe he'll come back someday, but we're going to do 5 years without him or something like that.
Yeah. A lot of that sort of thing. So things are just happening. A lot happens. Like there's these cavemen on this planet. Well, yeah. Let's see. The plot is basically Flash keeps running around and meeting these guys and running into new guys, and they fight the other guys. And these guys don't like those guys, and so they're fighting and all this shit, whatever. But
and then they're green for a really long time because they're in this like sacrifice chamber that's just lit by green fire. It's like, hey, you made it real easy on yourselves to color this part.
Oh yeah, I do like the bit where like the cavemen, I guess, worship Ming as their god or something, and they have this giant statue of Ming. And I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, so first of all, what's interesting about the statue is it is not carved out of a single stone as most statues are. It is built out of bricks. It is a constructed statue, which is a less common thing to see. And the statue also is standing there. It's like Ming, and he's got his arms extended and so I'm like, man, just that is one well-made statue that those arms don't just snap right off, because there's nothing really holding them up except for the connection to the shoulder, and it's made of brick. It's hot, it's heavy, but they don't.
Christ the Redeemer could never.
No, exactly. Maybe there's a reason why Ming is like the god of this planet, because he can do shit like this. But anyway, so they escape from these cavemen. Then
these cavemen all look exactly like Beastmen.
Yeah, they pretty much. Yeah, they. I do like their little mustaches. Those are kind of funny.
Yeah.
So then,
it is very funny that it really looks like they're being attacked by hippies.
Yeah. So then they escape the cavemen, but then they run into the lion man who's being chased by a bunch of like ladies who ride ostriches, and one of them is basically Tila from He-Man, but she's actually Ming's.
They're just like, and I love how Dale says the hunters, they're women. Like, how could they?
Yeah, it's like which is very funny because it's like, wow, I can't believe that on Mongo they let women hunt. Well,
and I can see their everything. Put on some clothes.
They are not. No, I did think it was interesting because, like, the women, the hunters here, are not like a specific species, they're all kinds of women. They're all sorts of women.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of these other things, like you got to remember that on Mongo, there's several major races of people. There's the cavemen. There's the lion men, who we mentioned before. Toon, the lion man. Thun.
Yep. Thun.
Thun, the lion man.
Yeah.
He's
Thank you, Thun.
he's the king of the lion. No, prince of the lion men. He's an important lion man. He's
the prince of the jungle.
He's a big deal. He's a big wheel among the lion men. So it's a big thing that these Amazon hunter types are going to catch him and I guess give him over to Ming or something. Ming's real bad. Ming is the emperor of this planet, but he's always fighting all these rebellions who are trying to stop him because he sucks ass. And Ming is just shitty. He's bad. We don't like him.
I like how when we see Thun running away from the hunters, we cut to Dale watching from the safety of a rocky outcropping, and she goes, "That man, he looks like a lion. Magnificent."
It's like that's kind of patronizing, Dale.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
What a specimen.
Yeah. So how would we characterize Fun, the Lion Man?
I think he has a little more personality than Flash in simply that he's gruff, but he also, has, he shows a lot of, he shows a lot of dedication to his friends who saved his life.
Yeah, I feel
so he gets more personality than Flash.
Yeah, he's basically if you were going to, I mean, honestly, if you were like, I'm making a cartoon where you go to a planet and you meet the king of the lion men, and you told me nothing about this character other than that he is a lion man, I'd be like, this is probably the sort of guy you'd have. Kind of like kind of almost like a Chewbacca, Akla the Mook kind of feel to him.
Yeah.
Where he's like, he's kind of like a little surly, but like also very like, but honorable.
Got
and
a
loyal.
little bit of that noble savage to him.
Very Klingon, kind of thing. And basically, so he teams up with Flash, but then they get captured by Ming, and Ming takes them to his mines, the Ming mines. So they got to work in the Ming mines.
I'm gonna mine more Ming.
Mine more Ming. What are they mining in the Ming mines? They're mining. What aren't they mining? What are they mining? Some sort of.
It's like some sort of chemical that poisons them, apparently.
Yeah.
And their overseers are these lizard women.
Yeah, these lizard women are who they have. I remember them having an amusing kind of trill sound that they make, but I recognize from some other cartoon, but I'm blanking on it now. I don't remember.
You're going to hear a lot of familiar musical cues and sound effects cues in this.
Yeah.
But my favorite musical cue is when we go into when we're in Ming's throne room and the music goes. So there's a little bit of the Torgo music in there, but I also kept hearing Chris Griffin going, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot.
Yeah, the musical cues, like you said, they're not very. There's not a lot. They really leave something to be desired. I even feel like it makes me think like when I watch He-Man, He-Man is. He-Man is an interesting show. It's, again, like this very limited animation and very much a kind of throw whatever at the wall and see what sticks. Because there's no thematic consistency in the He-Man show. But it kind of works. Why does it work in He-Man and not in Flash Gordon? Several reasons, I would say. One is He-Man. The characters in He-Man do actually have more personality than the characters in Flash Gordon.
They do. You can't argue otherwise.
Yeah, He-Man is actually, I didn't notice this as a child, but as an adult, I watched him like, yeah, He-Man's actually kind of he's got a certain, he's got a certain.
He has a wit to him. He's snarky sometimes.
He does. He's actually very likable, And you can tell he actually, I do also like, he does have that like Prince Adam versus He-Man thing. He does a very subtle change in voice and personality. So that is...
as a kid, I didn't recognize that Prince Adam is actually He-Man trying to come across as a nerd.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. But, he's doing the Clark Kent thing.
Yeah.
So, but as an adult, I do appreciate it a lot more. Alan Oppenheimer, I think, doing a bang up job. No, wait, no, he's Skeletor. I don't know who did.
He's Skeletor, yeah.
I don't know
Who was
He-Man.
He-Man? I forget
I
who the voice of
forget,
He-Man
but
was.
they're all doing great. All great work, fabulous voice acting, good personality in those characters. Also, He-Man is only half an hour long, so you don't have not as much time to get bored. And finally, the musical cues in He-Man are so singular, so He-Man, that if you hear them,
Yeah.
you know it's He-Man. But it also kind of has this amazing, epic fantasy sci-fi feel to it that really sells the show, and we get none of that in this Flash Gordon movie, so it just feels.
You're absolutely right. I very rarely watched He-Man as a kid, even though I was a huge fan of the Masters of the Universe toy line. I had tons of them, but I almost never saw the characters I had on the show. So, but I do the sound cues for He-Man. You know, a lot. I always loved when a new shot would begin and you'd hear this specific sound cue that starts with "woo," and I don't know what instrument that is.
Yeah, I really don't know, but yeah,
Sometimes it sounded like Donkey Kong.
it's so He-Man. You hear it, you know it's He-Man.
Yeah.
You know, like no one other show did that. But yeah, you don't get anything really like that in this.
It has a really distinctive audio footprint,
Yeah.
not just in the background cues, but a lot of the voice actors on this were doing voices that they didn't use anywhere else. I mean, I can't name another show where you hear the voice of Orko. It's not Frank Welker, that's for sure.
Yeah, true. So that's the thing, is like I didn't care much for He-Man as a kid, but as an adult I have a new appreciation for it, because even though it does have some major limitations, there's something there. Filmation was trying to do something. I don't think they were really as dedicated to doing something with this Flash Gordon movie, which is unfortunate because it's a full movie. I mean, but
it is a little weird that this TV movie from 1982 goes over almost all the same beats as the live action movie from 2 years earlier.
Maybe they just were like, hey, everyone loved that Queen movie, right? Maybe just make that again, but worse.
You know what the problem with it was? Too many queens.
Yeah. And what if we made that but bad? That's our bit. That's Filmation. What we're gonna do? Our promise to you, the viewer. If you like a movie, we'll remake it, but bad. You liked it good? You haven't tried it bad yet. Here, we're trying it bad. Here you go. What do you think? It's bad, right? And it's like, yeah, it sucks. That's what we want to hear here at Filmation, the studio that makes bad cartoons. Anyway, that's improv for you. Yeah, it's so they're stuck in the mines. They got these lizard ladies, and they imply that like the lizard ladies eat the prisoners, but also the prisoners get food that might be the lizard ladies. And Thun, the Lion Man, is like, I trust Ming to come up with a closed plan like that, which I thought was kind of amusing.
Yes, there are lizard ladies in this movie. I mean, which is a point in its favor. But I wish they looked different, because they're all the same lizard lady model.
Yeah, they had one lizard lady, so they just used that a lot, which, at least it's something. It's something. Something for the furries.
One lizard lady is better than no lizard ladies, but still.
Yeah. And I think they're into Flash, if I remember right. I don't know.
Kind of. They're into Flash, but they might be into eating him. We're not really sure.
I mean, everyone in this, all the ladies in this movie are kind of horny for Flash. I mean,
yes,
we get to see, because there's Ming's daughter, as we mentioned in this, and she is. I mean, I will say
apparently his adopted daughter.
Oh, okay. I'll say this: like, she's Ming's daughter is like a classic evil, like Dark Lord's daughter. It's a This is a kind of character that I really like. This archetype, where it's like, oh,
she's got that 80s big hair too.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like okay, I have a real soft spot for this kind of character. She's basically like, I bet my dad, the evil ruler of the universe, wouldn't like to hear that. Like that kind of character. But she doesn't. She's kind of they don't give her a whole lot to do in this, to be honest. I
No.
feel like, I mean, I like when she first kidnaps them and they're on the kidnap ship, and like the lion guy and Flash and Dale are kind of hanging out, and she's just lying there on a bearskin rug or something,
Yeah.
some sort of
And
like,
there's this really lovingly animated shot of her rolling over.
yeah, she's lying on some sort of sex carpet. It's not really clear what it is, but like it's clear.
Sex carpet.
I mean, it's clearly a sex carpet. I mean, let's not fool ourselves.
Are there? Can you get that at like a sex carpet remnant place, or do you have to buy it by the yard?
Well, it's you get it at they're these are fancy. You get them at like it's like a Persian rug store, except sex carpets. But I mean, we all know there's a certain kind of carpet, that you have sex on. It's a big kind of like a big fluffy kind of dead animal type of carpet, in front of a fire.
Like a bearskin?
Like a bearskin, yeah, and it's like, oh, it's so...
And then you take a picture of the baby that results on the bearskin. Circle of life.
Yeah, there you go. So, it's very sexy. But, like, so she's always coming on to Flash, but, like, he's only got eyes for Dale, so it doesn't really work.
It seems like he and Dale kind of fall in love off screen.
Yeah, it's like, they're obligated to be a thing, so it's just their thing, but... Yeah, there's really not a lot of chemistry going on here. Dale is kind of like, oh, you think that Ming's evil daughter is hot? And Flash is just kind of like, what? Huh?
Kinda, I guess.
I mean, what? Oh, it's like, am I not allowed to think women are hot when you're around? Are we a thing? Are we an item? I guess we are now. But
do you think she's hot? Well, she's not fat.
I mean, she is better animated than Dale, so.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm sorry, Dale, but like, she's also wearing like, I don't know what she's wearing. She's wearing kind of like a He-Man type outfit where it's like, it's not quite a swimsuit. It's kind of a Barbarella type thing going on.
Yeah.
But like, it's like...
It has parts of her torso showing that are not the parts that you're not allowed to show, but it's really weird that these specific parts are showing and not others.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you think she's hotter than me? Well, clearly she's hotter than you. Look how she's dressed. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, you want to be ogled? What? You got to dress like it. You got to dress for it, It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I wanted you to ogle me while I was standing here wearing like a burlap sack over my entire body. Well, no one's going to ogle you like that. If you want to be ogled, you got to like show a little skin. I'm sorry, that is the way it is. I mean, I think that's reasonable. If you don't want to be ogled, then cover it all up. Then we're fine. But if you want to be ogled, you show it off. Dale is being completely irrational here, like a woman, because she's a woman. You know how the ladies are. They don't think properly because they got smaller brains. Oh!
I think it's pretty funny that Dale looks almost exactly like Dr. Girlfriend in a lot of these shots.
She kind of does, actually. Except Dr. Girlfriend shows off a little more skin,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying! All right,
anyway.
I'm
sorry, Dr. and Mrs. the Monarch.
Dr. and Mrs. Oh, I don't know the canon. Well, I don't watch shows for nerds. So, I only know her from the fan fictions, where she's like, she's like, oh, a Monarch, I'm mysteriously inflating for no reason now. Oh, how embarrassing. Actually, that's pretty good. I'm pretty good at doing the Dr. and Mrs. the Monarch voice.
Yeah.
I guess. It's not really a hard voice to do. You just talk like that.
I can't believe you're mysteriously inflating right in front of me, in front of God and everybody.
Oh, actually, you're pretty good at that. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should do this as a show. Except I have to. I guess I need to actually watch Venture Brothers to know what she says. Otherwise, I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm real big now. Oh, damn, God, I've got these Schwetziger-nuts. Oh, Huck'em. I don't know what she says. I don't know what's a Dr. Monarch voice. Thing to say.
What's really weird is that when my girlfriend started inflating, she also became a lot more Jewish. I'm not a problem, but I was not expecting it.
It's just a thing that happens in my family. Like, usually the smaller we are, the more goyish we get. But, like, when we get big, we just we get more Jewish. It's just a thing, Oh, oy vey. Oh.
Well, my mother did say that these Jewish girls go all to fat as soon as they're married, but I thought it was more causative than collateral.
No, it's very collaborative, and it's not really fat. It's more like gaseous, more like a lighter than air gas. Sometimes it's juice, like blueberry juice. I get inflated with all sorts of things. It happens a lot. Usually I get zapped with some sort of ray gun, like a gun, like one of the guys in our universe who invented a gun that does stuff, and he just shoots me with it. That happens.
Is it ever milkweed? The milkweed would at least be, thematic.
That actually would be really good if I could inflate with milkweed. Honey, you arch someone who could do something like that? You should probably get on that.
Oh, that's right. The weed dairy maid.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Get the wee dairy maid. Get him or her. I don't know. Not really sure on this one.
It is a him. Things are much more progressive in the what is this game? What damn cartoon are we from? In the Venture Brothers erotic fan fiction universe.
We're from the Adventure Brothers erotic fan fiction universe. Yeah. I like how progressive things are. It's much more progressive than in the actual Adventure Brothers universe, where they just kill all the women when they're on one time and then they kill them. Yeah, that's why you never see no Dr. Quim anymore. What's up with that? People want to see Dr. Quim. They never put her on the show. What's up with that, Jackson Pollock? Why don't you put Dr. Quim back on the show? That's the guy who invented our show, right? The Adventure Brothers.
I thought it was Max Booth.
Max Booth the Thoid?
Maybe?
of Ghoulish Books? Boy, we're pretty good at this.
We are.
I think.
Yes.
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, we should have a cartoon.
We should.
We've been talking about cartoons for 7 years. Maybe we should finally make one.
We should make one. Call it the Adventure Brothers. Unrelated.
The Adventure Brothers.
Not Adventure. Adventure Brothers. A totally different show.
The Multiply Venture Brothers.
Yeah. Multiply Venture Brothers. Look, people, you saw the Venture Brothers, and it was probably okay. These brothers that we have on our show, they don't just venture, they adventure. That is an addition. That is an addition of 2 letters. That's 2 letters of A for adventure and D for diversion from boredom, which you'll get if you watch the Adventure Brothers show. Every weekday at 3 p.m., check your local listings. Take on this channel that you're listening to right now, the Adventure Brothers. Check it out. The Adventure Brothers. They'll fight. What's another butterfly that's not a monarch?
The Swallowtail.
They'll fight the Swallowtail and Professor Lady Friend. I don't know.
Yes.
The knockoff versions of those characters.
Yes.
Anyway, we were speaking of Flash Gordon for some reason.
Yes. I don't know why. It's not nearly as interesting as the Adventure Brothers. Right?
Yeah. I hope people like the Adventure Brothers. We're really betting a lot on this new show.
Anyway, so we're in the mines. That's right. They're in the mines where they're mining something that we're not really sure. They're mining Ming for Ming,
right?
And also we have more cavemen in the mines, but these cavemen are flesh-toned rather than grimace-colored, but they're still blind.
Oh, yeah, but they're like slaves or something, aren't they, to Ming? And they are slaves. They're being made to Ming the mine.
Ming the mine.
But then I think, how do they get out of the mine? Doesn't, what's her name? The evil daughter come and try and,
Yeah, she makes a pass at Flash, and... Flash makes some demand of her, and I guess Ming ends up getting... they start a slave revolt, actually. That's right. They get all the slaves to rebel against the cruel lizard ladies, and Ming's daughter calls Ming to help, and he says, "Oh, that's too bad. I'm just going to have to flood the mines and kill you all." So he is not a big fan of his adopted daughter, apparently.
No, I kind of thought this would be the impetus to have her betray him, but that doesn't really happen.
No, she kind of stays relatively loyal to him, even though she's escaping with Flash and Thun.
I guess they were that would add too many complications, so whatever, fine. But she does not change. She has no character arc. Um,
And she leads them to the only exit, which is guarded by this two-headed slug.
oh yeah, Zach, named Zach.
Zach. He's a Lego maniac.
Yeah, he can't Zach can't see. Zach can't has no has giant eyes but can't see, so he hunts by hearing things. I guess sound, even though he's
Yeah. So Flash's technique is to click rocks together and go, hey, 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 and then dodge out of his way so it slams into the rocks behind him.
yeah. But even though
You'd think that somebody would have thought of this before.
you would think, well, even though this technique somehow manages to fail because Toon the Lion Man gets got, but
Yeah.
Flash rescues him. Like the evil daughter is kind of like, we can get away now, and Flash is like, no, and rescues him. And you kind of again think this is setting up some sort of like thing for the evil daughter to be like, what is this thing you call mercy, and friendship? But like again, that doesn't really happen.
No.
So it's really a missed there's a lot of missed opportunity for like any sort of interesting character development in this movie.
Character development? No, we have to move on to the next set piece.
Oh yeah, because we get to the next bit, and now I guess we get to the bit where Flash gets captured by the Prince of the Robin Hoods, I think.
Yeah, who first has to save him from a rock-dwelling man-eating plant.
Oh yeah, that plant has kind of a cool look to it. It's
shaped like a square, and it looks like a square version of the Looney Tunes logo.
yeah. It's kind of neat. It's got like this infinite throat thing going on, so it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, the Robin Hood saves him. Robin
Hood saves him, and a bunch of identical Robin Hoods are with him. I keep wondering if any of these guys are supposed to be, Asian, the way Ming is implied to be.
What would make you think that?
Just in this, it's just the name, as far as I could tell. Ming seems to be some sort of green-skinned man who is not necessarily, does not necessarily seem to have any particular Oriental features. But maybe he does, and I'm just not good at recognizing them. So, but obviously, when this whole thing started in the 30s, there was a big thing of a yellow peril going on with Ming, which is kind of weird since he's not an Earthling in the first place.
Yeah, but that makes it okay.
I guess, yeah. As the Flash Gordon property has outlived that for decades and decades, they go further and further away from this idea of Ming as a sort of evil Confucius figure or whatever. And that I do remember seeing a made-for-TV Flash Gordon movie on the Sci-Fi Channel where Ming was played by who was the actor who hung himself?
Oh, what's it? David Carradine.
David Carradine, yes.
Wow. I have not seen that one.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because of Kung Fu, I should have thought of that.
David Carradine was in Kung Fu.
Yeah. He was Kung Fu.
Oh wow. Well, good.
So
for
it
him.
was not the first time that he had played Yellowface.
Oh, geez. Problematic.
Yeah.
Okay, so but he's not in this version.
No, I have no idea who any of these voice actors are. Actually, none of them are recognizable to me.
So yeah. Okay, so let's see. Where were we? What's going on?
Oh, the Robin Hoods have arrived. They're all dressed identically, and they all have the same mustache.
Yeah,
So
they do.
it's honestly really funny. They all look like Shipwreck from G.I. Joe.
Oh, look at all of these Robin Hoods. Well, we don't get to see them too long because then they all get caught again. This time by the Hawkmen.
Yes, and they get taken to Ming's City in the Clouds, as Dale put it, despite the fact that there were clearly no clouds.
Yeah. So they're in Hawkman City, and we see Voltron, the king of the
Yeah.
Hawkmen, and he's kind of doing the ersatz Brian Blessed thing. He's fine, but I guess, but
Yeah.
his plan is, I guess, because like the he wants to.
If they introduce you in a movie and you're like tearing the meat off of a drumstick, it probably means you should get your cholesterol checked.
Probably. Um, Now he's got a plan though. This guy decides, instead of like fighting Ming, he's going to marry Ming's daughter so that he becomes heir to all Ming's shit. Um, and I mean, I guess that it's like that is a plan. I'm surprised. I don't know how he thinks this is going to work.
Yeah.
Like you kidnap the guy's daughter and marry her, and then be like, yeah, you have to respect that marital bond now.
It was definitely not coerced.
Yeah. So this is, but and it does not really work out for him because
No.
Ming is not down with this whole idea, and
In fact, Ming destroys the entire city, which hilariously falls to the ground in big chunks that look just like it's in a Monty Python animation, and the original drawing was just torn into pieces.
yeah, it really looks like that.
It's kind of hilarious, but and we skip past the part where we show off Ming's harem full of women of all different kinds, and how Dale is being added to it.
Oh yeah, this is a bit of a weird thing because he says like, oh, represent, like, you see representatives of the three great races of Mongo, and I've crossbred them in all sorts of weird ways, so I have a million different kinds of women, and it's just like, wait, what are the three
Okay.
races? What are the three races? Is it like,
I guess that would be lion people, hawk people, and lizard people.
okay,
And
but there's
and then he
also,
says, and now I will add human to the mix. So it's like, what? You're going to have Dale get these girls pregnant?
yeah, so wait,
What do you think is going to...
so does he not have any Robin Hoods or cavemen in his harem? He just has these other ones? Okay, I don't know what's going on.
maybe... Well, maybe some of these races are all male and some are all female. They didn't really get into that.
No, there's a. This is whatever. We'll go with it. It's all fine. It's fine. But so he puts her in the harem. He doesn't call it a harem though.
No, he does not use that phrase.
But he's very interested in Dale. He's really into her because she's like spicy.
My favorite of these women is the one who seems to have a cobra hood.
Oh, again, kind of probably a variation on the lizard. The lizard people.
Yeah, but again, that's kind of... She didn't wear it on the show, but Tila had a cobra hood in the toy, so another little Tila shout out there.
Oh, I did not remember that.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things that's iconic if you don't know the cartoon, I guess.
I guess so. Well, so
She didn't have it in the movie either.
oh yeah, the movie took a lot of liberties.
Yeah, it did. Remember, the movie was not based on the cartoon. It was based on the toys, which meant it was the first actual narrative that we had seen based on the toys since the original cartoon. So just kind of, starting from scratch, re-rolling all the characters.
Yeah, it was like an interesting idea. Interesting to do that because it's like you don't think people are going to remember the cartoon. You don't think most people remember the cartoon more than the toys.
I think it had something to do with, legally they couldn't use Orko, so they had to invent Gwildor as, a alternate and that kind of thing.
See, that's what the lawyers always ruin everything. Well, anyway, so Ming's trying to get on with Dale. Then what else is going on? Then I don't know. There's a bunch of people getting like kidnapped, and then they free each other.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fights. I think like, Ming then decides he's going to have a duel with Flash Gordon, and
We'll have a duel. It's curtains for you.
yeah, and they have a duel with guns. So
Yeah,
um,
that's it's hilarious, and because they say, Ming, that's not fair. He doesn't know our weapons. And I thought they were going to tie this in with the idea that Ming had actually been supplying Adolf Hitler with weapons, because we actually see some Nazi ICBMs take off at one point.
that's true. So that is a thing we forgot to mention, that Ming is supplying the Nazis with weapons, because that way when things go bad, that way he can take over, Earth, and with the aid of the Nazis. And this is the thing is I'll say that this is the one part of the whole this whole uh, shebang that I was like, yeah, this all scans actually. Hitler would 100% like ally with evil aliens and probably be like,
Oh yeah,
oh yeah, totally, I'm gonna do this, and like that'll turn out good for me. But he's not, because he was a guy who was incredibly stupid. Um,
it's kind of like how the Japan allied with white supremacists. They thought this could turn out well for us, and
yeah,
so Hitler was like, "I gotta ally myself with these aliens who want to take over the Earth. I'm sure I can make this work for me."
yeah. I mean, I think there is one consistent in history which we've seen, which is that like fascists are incredibly stupid.
We talk about the banality of evil. We rarely explore the stupidity of evil.
Yeah, but I mean, and which also kind of was like watching Ming is like, uh, like Ming is a pretty stereotypical like villain.
Yeah,
He's real evil for like just a jerk. He's like like just bad in all sorts of ways. Where he's also like really mean to his underlings. He's just cruel for no reason. He does things that are pretty stupid, but like they're evil. And
yes.
when I was younger and more naive, I'd be like, man, I don't get why anyone would follow this guy. They should have a smarter villain. But like now, I'm like, no, this is actually how it is in real life. They're all like this, and there's always the
Do
bit.
you think that we could? Do you think you could have a successful political campaign by saying, "I'm evil. Follow me, and we will do wicked deeds"?
Honestly, I think you could. I think you really could.
Jeez, we should try it.
I mean, at this point, it's like it's pretty much what's happening. Literally, it's just like everything now is just like evil spelled backwards is live, and we all want to do that, right? And that's like literally what like the plat. That's a more coherent political statement than like anything you're getting out of the actual government right now. So yeah, but also the bit where like as usual, where like they have the sword fight. Then they have a sword fight, by the way,
Yes,
and
got to be swords. Too many. It's just like Smash Brothers. There's too many swordsmen.
yeah, so they do some sword
Oh, we didn't
fighting.
even talk about the big lump men.
Oh, we forgot the mole men. There are mole men in this
Yeah,
one. Uh,
the mole men. They don't look like mole men to me. They look like great jelly men.
I mean, I guess they're mole men in the sense that they're just underground and they have a big tank and they shoot things with guns underground. They're more mole men. I mean, if we're gonna call that one guy a mole man because he wears weird glasses, we might as well call these
Yeah,
guys mole men. At least they're something. But the Robin Hoods defeat the Mole Men by using a special thing that makes roots activate.
yeah. And it kind of looks like, if you don't see the beginning of the shot, it looks like the mole men are being sucked into large puckering anuses.
Yeah, they show that a lot. They show that they really show that shot of the Mole Men like struggling not to get like killed a
Yeah,
lot.
and you start to feel like, oh, is this like the creeping terror? Was somebody getting off on this?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, um, so they're doing the thing. They're fighting.
Yeah,
Oh, they're
they're
sword
doing the
fighting.
thing.
They're
They're
sword
doing the
fighting.
good guy thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
and
have the sword fight, and then there's the
the
gunfight.
gunfight.
Oh, and then there's Oh, I love this space pope that's going to marry them. The,
Oh
the the
yeah,
guy in the green helmet. That guy looks so cool. He has big Decepticon energy.
yeah. Um, he's very like he reminds me of oh God. I feel like I've seen this character design somewhere else, but yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, he looks like the priest of some squid worshipping cult.
he looks like something. He looks like something that would be in Brave Star for some reason.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Brave Star, another Filmation production.
Yep, there you go. So it all fits.
And these robots that are working for Ming, they have a lot in common with Scared Stiff from the fake Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, they
So,
totally do. They totally look like scared stiff. Um, so okay, so there's a lot of these. So there's a lot. He has a lot of robots that also fight for him.
yeah.
Um,
Also, when does Flash Gordon actually put on the Flash Gordon outfit? I never quite see the shot where he gets a new shirt.
I don't know actually.
Yeah, he's just going around in this ripped shirt for most of the movie, and then suddenly he has, the iconic Flash Gordon outfit with the really wide neck hole, and then the kind of golden aberrations around the neck,
Yeah, the one that kind of looks like Aquaman.
embellishments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know. I missed that as well. I found it hard to kind of pay attention.
yeah. Like I said, I literally fell asleep a few times. So
Well, it yeah. So he has a new shirt though, and he defeats Ming with his new shirt, and no, Ming flies away. Ming escapes.
yeah, yeah. Ming flies away after and starts shooting at the city where they are, and also, he gets locked in a. He gets. He Flash locks himself in a tower and locks one of the doors, and then tries to open the other. And he shoulders it a couple of times, and then rubs his shoulder like "owie," which is pretty funny.
It's hard. So I think this is the point where it turns out that Mongo is having a collision course for Earth. It's going to destroy
Yeah,
Earth because um, so Flash shoots the machine to make it stop, but that means that he and Dale can't return to Earth. So they're stuck on Mongo now, and
yep,
all the Mongolese swear allegiance to each other. The five princes
yeah,
are going to be good, except the Robin Hood guy is like, I declare myself like the best prince. I'm going to be Ming's heir, and all the other guys are like, yeah, that sounds fine. Um, and but they say like, oh, Zarkov is like, good news. This means Hitler can't get any more weapons, and the rest of the Earth will unite against him and defeat him. And it's like, that's what happened.
that's what happened. Well, I mean, it's 1939. So I guess Hitler had been unstoppable until then. Was that when it became World War II?
Yeah, that sounds right.
When did they officially name it that? Because I
Oh,
know that President Roosevelt had some other name he wanted to give it,
what did he
but
want to call it?
I forget. But up until then, the one from before had been the Great War, and then suddenly that was World War One, and this was World War Two.
Yeah, well, what are they going to call it? Like yeah, this war is pretty good. This one's also pretty
Yeah,
good.
he wanted to call it, I don't know, the War for Freedom or something like that, which is like the most generic name ever. But then again, it's not what he actually called it. It's just what I remember.
Yeah, well, the Americans love calling things stuff like that. Okay, so anyway, the Flash shoots the thing. Mongo can't go to Earth. Hitler won't get any more weapons, which means the good guys are going to win World War II. Good. And
Yeah,
Flash,
thanks to Flash Gordon.
Flash, Flash. So that means then that Dale is kind of bummed about not being able to go back to Earth, but Flash says Earth was our reality. Mongo is our dream. And then they make out, and that's the end. So,
Oh, that what? Sorry,
isn't that
Flash. Are you okay? Are you having a stroke? What the
it's
fuck?
like okay, I don't know that I don't know that that really means anything, but okay. It's I mean, I sort of think I get what he's trying to say, but like that's not what he said.
That's I don't know. I'm sort of reminded of okay, this is something that I wrote myself, so it's weird to maybe it's weird to cite your own writings, but in my free to read book Joy Traveler, look it up sometime. One of the games that the main characters are playing is a game involving putting on different shoes to get different powers. And at the end of the game, the main character says, "Now I know that family is more important than my shoe collection. In fact, I don't even need feet anymore." And everyone's like, "Oh, what? Huh?"
Yeah, important lesson was learned.
Yeah.
Who needs feet when you have family?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, let's see. Oh, I found a thing about different names for World War II around the
oh,
world.
what do they call
In
it?
in the first year of the war in France, they called it "le drôle de guerre," the strange war,
Yep.
because the war was declared, but no one was fighting. It didn't age well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's okay. I guess that would be kind
And
of strange.
between the capitulation of Poland and the fall of France, in England it was called the Phony War.
What? Okay,
The Phony War, or the Sitzkrieg.
okay,
Yeah. In Ireland it was called the Emergency.
okay, huh? Um,
Yeah. When I was tutoring English in Japan in the 1980s, my middle school students told me it was called the Pacific War in their textbook. And there were only a few paragraphs about it. They had never heard the term World War II.
gee, I wonder why.
Yeah. In Russia, it's called the Great Patriotic War.
Yeah. Um,
In Finland, World War II is two wars: the Winter War and the Continuation War.
uh, continuation war. Okay.
The Continuation War between 1941 and 1944.
Okay.
The Winter War was between 1939 and 1940.
Okay. Interesting.
Huh. Yeah, I'm okay. I think I, but they don't have the thing that Roosevelt wanted to call it. So okay. Anyway, it's really interesting that what we call the World War, the rest of the world does not consider the whole world to have taken part in.
I mean, there were parts that didn't. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, I can't wait for World War III. The hottest thing since World War III. Mock.
So in Finland, do they say I can't wait for World War IV?
Yeah. Well, who knows what the Finns do? Those fucking Finns. Ugh, they're always doing
Like hot
something.
dogs.
They're always eating hot dogs.
Yeah. They love the sweet taste of it.
They love hot dogs. And they eat Finnish hot dogs there. They're made out of they're like regular hot dogs, but they have a more Finnish taste on account of being from Finland. Finland is also where we get most of the world's fins from. Not the people, the part of a fish. That's where it's from. That's why they named the country after it, because that's where you catch the fish to get their fins, which you use in like soup. Anyway,
Yeah.
boy, I really suck at improv. Actually, I'm really bad at it. I should get my money back from that class. Okay. Anyway, what else do we want to say about Flash Gordon, the greatest adventure of all time?
Uh, Flash Gordon has survived for a long time, but it's interesting that this is like the first time we've really dipped our toes into it. The only thing we've seen with Flash Gordon before was Popeye Meets the Man Who Hated Laughter.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
and Defenders of the Earth.
Defenders of
So-
the Earth. Yeah, yeah.
Defenders.
Yeah, I guess it's because Flash Gordon is he that interesting? I don't know. If this is any indication, then not really.
A lot of people confuse Flash Gordon with Buck Rogers, conflate the two of them in that sort of bat snail way.
Oh yeah, they're both kind of like space guys.
Yes. And I guess Buck Rogers did start out as a comic strip too, so I guess that's under our purview.
Oh, well, people, I can't keep all these old timey space guys straight because they are just, they're again not very thematic. They're just kind of like all over the place. They're just gonna fight whatever because it's space.
Yeah.
Um,
In our day, we have Buzz Lightyear, and we liked it that way.
yeah, I will say that, like, I was not particularly taken with this adventure of Spaceman Spiff or whatever the fucks. Uh,
I would not call this the greatest adventure of all time.
no, it's more like the greatest adventure of all.
It's the greatest adventure of the last 2 hours.
There you go. There you go. Um, yeah, it's like if you're a kid, you'll probably like this, but like
Yeah,
otherwise, there's not a whole lot to really recommend it. It's just, it's
yeah. It's weird that He-Man did so much stuff so much of the same stuff better.
yeah. I really just feel like they just were kind of going through the motions here. They were kind of Filmation, because I do think when you look at He-Man, like Filmation was like, look, we believe in this. We want to make a good product. Whereas with this one, it really feels like they're just kind of, we got contracted to do a thing, so we'll do it. It's kind of like when Filmation made that, like, what is it, the Mush, and had caused the channel to go out of business or something.
Oh, right. The one that's like Mash, but with sled dogs. Is
Yeah,
that it?
that's the one. Um, Cannot recommend that one. It is not good. But anyway, we spoke on that on a previous episode. But the important thing is, don't bother with Flash Gordon, the greatest adventure of all lifetime, because your life is finite and you will die someday. And there's no reason to waste 2 hours of that finite time watching this dreck. Instead, listen to this podcast.
Yeah, where we improvise very haltingly.
Yeah, yes, and so we're good. Yeah.
And chocolate monkey cheese weasels.
See, you're a natural. Should we cut? Should we cut here?
Yeah, cut it there.
All
That's
right.
good.
How do I do this?